Philip Behn is CEO of Imperfect Foods, the online grocer committed to eliminating food waste and building a better food system for everyone. The company delivers surplus food directly from producers to customers' doors through an affordable, customizable subscription service. Philip has over 19 years of experience as a retail executive, notably serving as president of Walmart's e-commerce in Mexico, growing Walmart.com.mx to Mexico's #1 online food retailer. Philip, thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to GoodTalks.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and get started. How our food gets to us is likely something many of us never have considered. Can you give us more transparency into the food system?
The food system is pretty consolidated and also pretty complex. It's been evolving over the past 50 years, ever since the rise of formal retail, big grocers that you're familiar with from today. It starts from the growers. Things get grown as they have been for centuries in the world in farms. Then things get harvested and moved through various middlemen to the final consumer. Sometimes they get processed into manufactured goods, and sometimes they go direct from the farm to the consumer or the store. And in most cases, retailers have figured out effective ways to move that product from where it's grown to where it's consumed. But sadly, that only applies to a certain portion of products. There is a small percentage, between 10 and 15% of things that are produced and grown that never make it to final customers. And we can talk about why that is, but it's one of the things that gave rise, as you said in your introduction, to Imperfect Foods. And our mission is to eliminate that food waste and build a better food system.
Yeah, thank you. I'd love to hear more about why that is. Sorry, go ahead.
So most of the standards that have been defined by the large retailers over the past 50 years relate to beauty, actually. The definition of what a beautiful apple should look like, or a beautiful carrot, is pretty much what you get to see in a store. I grew up in Chile in South America, part of my time in a farm. And from a very young age, I was exposed to the real variability and quality and the look and feel of veggies that grow in a real farm. And I knew that there was a big disconnect between how things grow in nature and what you get to see in a supermarket. And that really has been the consequence of these beauty standards that have been defined by the industry. So if an apple doesn't look the part, then a large retailer won't buy it from a farmer. And it stays in the tree, or it gets harvested and turned into some industrial product. Of course, where we come in is we go to the farmer and buy the ugly apple, which is just as good as a beautiful apple and just as fresh and nutritious, and we move it through the supply chain straight to our customers.
Thank you for sharing that. And some of the statistics around food waste are astounding. For instance, NRDC's 2011 report says that 40% of American foods end up in landfill. What can our viewers do at home to lessen their own footprint?
There's a large number of food waste that happens in your home. If you think about the amount of food that you cook versus the amount of food that you end up consuming and eating, there's a 20 to 40% loss in that process. And many times we find that it is because customers don't truly understand the durability of products that they buy, or the quantities that they need to buy. So very often we find ourselves explaining to customers that certain leafy greens, for example, need to be consumed early on in the cycle. Everybody does their gets their weekly Imperfect Foods box, or they do their weekly grocery run, and you buy a whole bunch of things. And not everything that you buy for the week has the same duration once it hits your pantry or your fridge. And being able to consume the things that spoil first means that there's a lower chance that you will end up dumping that into landfill. The second thing is using scraps. And there's been some great TV programs even that go after that concept of trying to use what we call the full carrot. So even the peel you can make into a broth, or you can use it together with other food scraps to make a healthy broth that you can then freeze and you can use every time that you need chicken broth, for example, or vegetable broth. All those little tricks we try to teach our customers. We have our blog at Imperfect Foods, and we also try to make sure that our customers understand what they can do to reduce the food waste that happens at home.
Yeah, and that can have a chain reaction. So when we're more conscious of our food waste at home, it can help improve our finances and other parts of our lives as well. So that's very interesting. And now my next question is, an increasing food trend we've seen lately is for Americans to buy local. How does Imperfect Foods work with and support local farmers and farm workers across the country?
Buying local has a couple of advantages. There is one of local job creation, which we find many of our customers feel very strongly about, that they want to make sure that their dollars remain in the community and create good jobs and local jobs. There's a second advantage, which is quality and freshness. So interestingly, vegetables, fruits, and even some protein items like seafood don't travel that well. They don't make it that well through long distances or long periods of time in which they are kept cool or frozen. So the best quality produce is the one that has been freshest since it has been picked in a farm and it really arrives at your pantry or your refrigerator. So for us, local is really important for those two reasons. There's a third reason why it's also important to companies, which is local usually means lower logistics costs. You only have to move things for a couple of miles or a couple dozen miles and not hundreds of miles, which is what usually happens with imported items, for example, or items that come from faraway states. And of course, the other consequence of cost is carbon footprint. We want to make sure that we minimize the amount of carbon that we have to put up in the air when we bring a product from a grower to the customer. And for all those reasons, local is a really important part of our program at Imperfect Foods.
Great. Thank you for sharing. And according to conservative estimates, 17 million Americans lack reliable access to food, especially in a pandemic. How does Imperfect Foods support those communities?
Yeah, food, nutrition, and education are the great equalizers, and they gave rise to equal opportunity to people in different parts of the country and the world. In particular, food, which is kind of close to our core, we find that there are large communities and parts of the country today here in the US that don't have access to high quality, fresh food. And that is a problem. That means that people, children in particular, are coming short on nutrition. The vitamin intake, as well as the quality of the food that they eat. And one of the things that we try to do at Imperfect Foods is enable local communities that are far away from farms that produce quality food to enjoy the benefits of that quality food. That means that as a company, Imperfect Foods, we had to build supply chains that are able to move product quickly from the source to the consumption markets, and do so in a way that we can still be affordable, right? So it's not only about bringing fresh food to these communities, it's about bringing fresh food at affordable prices. And that really takes a lot of hard work so that we can actually pass on savings to our customers in these communities.
Yeah, well, Philip, thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you for helping us understand the food system and food waste and all of that more deeply. I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much. Yeah.